many people don't have Anaconda installed? Oh, good. Okay. Well, hands went up the last tutorial. I'm going to say a little bit here about Python 2 and 3, only that I still use Python 2 because that's the version of Python that we're using at Indeed. How many people here use Python 3? And how many use Python 2? Okay, so I set this up so that you should be able to run this notebook whether you're using Python 2 or Python 3. Okay, and I'm not going to go into a lot of details here because the only thing that you need to do in order to you're running Python 2 to be able to use this notebook is to import the print function. And while you're at it, Ron, I like to import the division function as well, and then that pretty much takes care of the compatibility issues that come into play in this notebook. Okay, so how many people are the first time using a Jupyter notebook? Okay, good. So you know how to run things. So I'm going to just kind of go through here and import the usual aliases, pandas, aliasing as PD, NumPy as NP, and then matplotlib, pyplot as PLT, and then what I want is for any graphs that we create to show up in the cell itself. Okay, so I'm not going to go through this in any great detail. I just actually gave a tutorial at Indeed to product managers, kind of trying to get them up to speed on Python and pandas. I'm not going to go into a lot of details here, but the basics, just some information here about the basics of pandas for anyone who's relatively new to it. It's a tabular two-dimensional data structure that can be manipulated with Python commands. The columns in the data, the main data structure we're using is a data frame, which is the table. The columns are sometimes called series. We can access them using a variety of mechanisms, including slice operators. Other concepts that we'll be drawing on in this tutorial are grouping, the paradigm of split, apply, and combine, and then merging data sets as well. Okay, so ordinarily I would click on this link and show you the turbocharge your data acquisition using Data World Python library and or the Python SDK, the documentation, and or the data wrangling tutorial, but you'll have to click on those yourself or get those that you have internet access. So in order to install the Data World library, if you have Conda, you can do conda install -c, conda-forge data.world-pi. Has anyone done that yet? Okay, has it worked? Okay, so if you pop over your command window, okay, so you would just type in, what is it was? Just copy paste it. Oh, actually, I guess there's people who don't have Macs too, so whatever your preferred terminal window is. So you just type that in the command line and run it, and that should do the installation for you. Has anyone not been able to do that? Then I'm going to, luckily I borrowed a screenshot from Josh, and has anyone not created a Data World account yet? Okay, so you might want to take this moment to go out to data.world and create an account for yourself. You can see this doesn't come back yet. Alright. And once you go to that account, you should be able to go to your settings, and then click on the Advanced tab, and get an API token. Having any trouble with doing that? Okay, whoops. Once you've got your API token, the next thing you'll do is type in DW configure, and it should bring up something like that. And then you just copy paste the token from that window right there. Oops. Oops. How many people have gotten that far so far? Good. How do you leave one more time? Okay, always on that. Everyone who's gotten that far, the next thing you do is you hit install data.world, and then in brackets just like that, just copy and paste that line into your terminal window. Okay, so I'm going to continue on here. There's an HTML file there if you get put your walk down on this. So I end up doing this time series analysis and all kinds of various analyses in pandas on a daily basis. Not so much even space time series analysis on a variety of types of data that Indeed uses. But I thought it would be more interesting if instead of looking at Indeed data for this tutorial, we would look at something that's a little more generally accessible and well known. So The Simpsons is a TV show that's been around for quite some time. It is let's see here. There's some things. It's the longest running American sitcom and the longest running American animated program. And I'm assuming most people have at least heard of it, if not watched it. The data set for this episode, for The Simpsons was actually gotten through several steps. And I was going to walk you through some of those, but they originally straight for one person's tutorial, who then made available at GitHub, and then it was used by a Kaggle user, and then eventually it was uploaded to data.world. Okay, essentially there are 4 data files. Data World essentially allows you to host CSV files, and the 4 files there have to do with the Simpsons characters, the episodes, the locations, and the script lines. We're only going to be using the episodes and script lines for the purposes of this tutorial. So the first thing to do after you have installed the Data World Pandas library, how many people have finished installing that? Great. Great. Okay. It's an imported, and the convention for data world is to import aliasing it as DW. So there were two cells here in the notebook that are taken directly out of Josh's tutorial with version. What happens is when you actually load the data set, it will create a locally cached copy of the files associated with the data set in a directory in your home drive .dw. Okay? So if you use the optional force update equals true option, you'll say, go get the data from data world and get the precious data. I already got locally cached, so I would encourage you to run this now. It might take a couple minutes to actually go fetch the data and upload it. Okay, I'm hoping this will still work. I'm going to give it a few more minutes. I don't know what will happen. I think what it does, it goes to see if there's anything new on the server, but I haven't thought about that. Okay. I may have to actually switch over to my other laptop after all. Although actually, it's easier now. Fortunately, one of my colleagues has this installed on his laptop, so you'll see me for a minute here. I got one laptop here, so okay, thank you. That's the password for okay, so you're showing us in the opposite direction of mine. Okay, so I'm going to quickly rerun the cells. Okay, there we go to this stage. All right, so you can see that there's a cache of the CSV file. You can see the script lines file is much larger than the others. And we're now going to start, we're going to spend a little bit of time looking at the data, and then we'll start doing some analysis. Okay, so there's lots of information associated with the various data sets. I'm not going to go through it all. The main thing that we care about here, since we're using Kansas, is that we have, let's see here. There's information about each of these files, and it's actually the most recent version as well as the original version, and you can explore that on your own. The main thing we care about is there's an attribute, data frames. The data in a data world repository essentially is available in three different formats. Data frames, tables, which are essentially lists, and raw data itself. And we're only going to be focusing on data frames. I'll also note that data world has lots of other things, so I'm not going to be talking about. They have their own version of SQL. They have WSQL, they have Sparkle, they have a number of capabilities to actually create data directly from data world. If you have very large data sets, you don't want to try that copy to your disk. But we're not going to go into that because this is my data conference and we're posting some Candace here. Okay, so if you then run the various, if you then look through the different LDS attributes, data frames, tables, and raw data, you get a little more information about them. The main thing we care about is the data frames attribute that we're going to use throughout this. And so to try to simplify things, I'm just going to copy the data frame associated with the CSV file, send the script lines into a variable that I'm going to use just called df. The first time you do this, you actually get a warning message when you see that. Okay, and I copied the warning message I got here, and right away it was like, looks like there's some noise in the data. And particularly what this is drawing our attention to is that there's at least 3 columns, and actually 4, that have fixed data types. And whenever I see that, it's like, there might be a problem here. So, to try to figure out what's going on there, one thing we can look at is the pandas operator or function info, which gives us information about the objects of the columns in the data frame. And we can see that there are a few that are showing up as just object, and that may be somewhat problematic. So one way that I go about trying to diagnose this, again, I'm going to postpone or entirely a thorough exploration of data cleaning, but I also like to see what kinds of things are in these columns. And so what I do here is I'm looking through it for each column label. I'm going to print out the number of unique values, the number of values that are null, and then the number of data types by just running the pandas apply function on the column label to extract the type of each element and then count the number of different types of values, in this case, the number of different types. So you can see here that there are there's a couple things that are coming up with 2 data types here, timestamp and milliseconds. Character ID, raw character text, raw location text, spoken words, normalized text, and word counts. So, and then another thing I sometimes do is then I want to see a little more about what the distribution of these values is. So you can see we have a number of string and integer values here for timestamp. That's usually a warning sign. And then many others are a combination of strings and floats. And it's often the case, of course, that a string field, if it's not present, we'll just have the NaN value, the null value for pandas. So those are somewhat understandable. Again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time going through the data clean. There's a separate notebook I have here. Ironically, it's not very cleaned up. That you can look it through, or that we'll go through at the end of this time. So here's the head of the data frame. Each row in the data frame has an identifier. The identifier is the identifier for the script line. There is an episode identifier, which is a number starting at 1. Number is the number of the line within the episode. Okay, so each time you have a new episode, number's going to be reset to 1. The raw text is the text that was extracted directly from the web scraper. And actually, the problems are with the data noise are mostly caused by quotation marks in various timestamp places that these reading and CSV files and has trouble with. The timestamp in milliseconds, I actually meant to go look at this more. I think it's actually the timestamp in milliseconds is the beginning of the season. So it is a timestamp, we can look at that. There's an indication of whether it's a speaking line. There is, what you can do is just print the columns here. That'll probably be simpler. Is a buoy indicating whether or not it's a speaking line, because there are other kinds of lines such as stage directions or sort of parenthetical comments about what's going on in the script. There is a character ID, a location ID, and then the text, the raw text associated with each character and each ID. It turns out that the character ID, you need to identify the character, but characters can have different flavors, right? So you can have Homer, you can have young Homer, you can have Homer Spot, you can have a variety of sort of slight variants that are all kind of about Homer, but they're not strictly speaking Homer graphs in the script. And locations can also have multi-valued. There can be more than one location text associated with a given location. The spoken words are, let's see if I can show you some examples here. The spoken words, so essentially each script line has a character, colon, and then whatever the character says, if anything. So if you strip off the character text, then you get the raw character text deal, and then the spoken words is whatever comes after the colon. Okay? And the normalized text is essentially a lowercase version with most of the punctuation, but not all, which is another source from removed from the remaining actual text is spoken. And then the last field is a word count field that indicates the number of words in that normalized text field. Okay, so rather than go belabor how to clean up the data, you can just import the PyData Simpsons module that I included in that repository, and then run PyData or PyData_Simpsons. Clean Simpsons script lines is a very specialized function that ought not to use data context. And like we'll talk about at this point, but I'll cover it later. You should get a new data frame that's cleaned up a bit. Okay. Among the things that I did was that there were some lines that had values in the wrong fields. So there was one case where, for example, one of the timestamp in milliseconds was Springfield Elementary School, and again it was because the quotation marks were everything got shifted. And then it also converts everything to their integers to ints. I use 0 for character ID, location ID, the null values, so we have ints that that's ID doesn't have a mix of those. And again, the speaking lines had a mix of strings and actual Boolean values. And then the perhaps most important thing that I realized early on was if you actually look at the ordering here, the first row in the data frame is actually not the first episode or the first number or anything like that. So I sorted them all by ID, which now gives us the script line sorted in the order in which they occur through the entire course of the system represented by the data file. Okay. For some of the work that we're going to do, it turns out that the season is valuable, and the season of each episode is not included in the script lines, but it is included in the episodes. So we're not going to do any data cleaning or any exploration of the episode's data, except to note that it's got the season value, and fortunately, the values are all integers, so we don't have to really worry about that one. And I'm not going to go into all this, but there you can see some of the data in there. So, we're going to just, the only thing really is season, and so what I'm going to do is merge the data frame that we got in the script lines and the data frame from episodes. But again, since I only care about the episode, the columns, the season column, I'm going to grab that. But it turns out the ID field in the episode's data maps to the episode ID in the main data frame that we're using in script lines. And so I'm going to retain the ID here for the ID column for the merge. How many people have used the merge operation before? Okay, so merge kind of joined together. So it was saying merge these two data frames, and the left on says use the column in the left data frame, in this case DF, that's called episode ID, and map it to the column in the right data frame, in this case the episode called ID. It's going to do a left join, so it's going to preserve all the rows that were originally in the DF and just populate the season values wherever it finds them. Okay. And then I just did a little trick here where the suffix is, so now we have two ID fields, right? Because the script line has an ID for the actual line, and there's an ID in the episodes for the episode ID. So now we have two ID fields. I'm going to say the one on the left will retain the market suffix. The one on the right will have an underscore Y, which is the default value actually. You can just specify suffixes. And I'm going to drop the ID Y value. We already have the episode ID in the original data frame. I'd rather call it episode ID than ID text or ID Y. The other thing though is that season now, I'll show you. Season is all the way up on the right. Which, is fine, I guess, but frankly, to me, even should be somewhere on the left, closer to against what IDs are. And so that's relatively easy to accomplish just by simply renaming the column, or reordering columns by just specifying a different order here. So what I did was essentially I grabbed the column values, I copied them into here, and specified them moving season from the end to the second position. And now when I look at the data frame, we get the season right there. Okay, questions? Yes?
What does raw character text mean, or what's raw location text?
Sure. So the script lines that this was straight from has each line, and you can see it's a character ID or character name colon, and then something the character says. So in the scraping, what the person did originally is they wrote something to split the line where the colon is, take whatever's to the left of the colon, and put that in the raw character text field, and take whatever's to the right of that colon is and put it in the spoken words. And then whatever was the spoken words, it was then lowercase, and the punctuation was moved to come up with a normalized version, which is called normalized text. Other questions about that? Yes.
I got a instruction to do a few months ago, but I actually forgot about the data.
Oh, do you have an extension?
Oh, you could use their name off. I think Candace for your second letter. I had to say that letter.
So come to update Candace?
The first job morning, I got the extension with the same error. And the finding values in finding big value columns, something. Yeah. That right there. So if you have work your fine. So I can
I'll take your break through that. Other questions? Okay. essentially analyzing data that has a time element. And usually the data is collected based on evenly spaced time increments. So per day, per week, per episode, per season, those kinds of things. And so we're going to start off here with just some simple time series data analysis on The Simpsons. I thought I put this somewhere. I guess I should have put this up further on. Anyhow, there's a sort of summary description of the fields in the data frame that we're using that we've extracted from the Simpsons strip line CSV. In case I overlooked anything or wasn't clear about that. Each data point in the Simpsons data has a timestamp, but also it represents a different element of time. Okay, so you can think about it as that data itself is sort of unevenly spaced data set. I won't get into too much of that. The episodes data, each data point is an episode at times. A couple other things to note before we start manipulating it. Although there are 600 episodes in the episodes CSV, there are only 564 episode ID values in the script lines. So we're missing 36 episodes for which we have no scripts. And they seem to be unevenly distributed as well. So there's, let's see here. So we say, show me the episodes for which the ID from EF episodes is not appeared here in the list of episode IDs in our main data frame. And that will show us the 36 episodes. Let's see here. There we go. So they seem to be scattered among, actually I think they seem to be in the upper 500 mostly. So we're just going to go to those script lines. That's where our main focus here. Okay, so I want to make this a little bit interactive at least, although there is another notebook with in-depth answers out there in the repo. So if you want to peek ahead or want to earlier, whatever else happens, there's a separate notebook there that has answers for all these things. But I thought it might be useful to at least give an opportunity to do some exercises and on our way there. So exercise A. A1, I say 4 different exercise sets here. What are the minimum, maximum, and mean number of script lines per episode? Okay, so using the data we already have in the data frame, can you write the pandas function or a single pandas function, or series if you want to, break it down how you want, that will come up with the min, max, and mean number of script lines per episode. And I put some links there to some pandas functions that you might find useful for this task. So I'll give you a minute or two here to think about that and try these things out perhaps. Something on a per episode basis, we're going to want to do some grouping, or at least generally how to approach it. If other people have other solutions, after I show you how I would do it on here one too. Okay, so I'm going to say DF group I, and then I'm going to say episode ID, and that's going to create a pandas group I object, which in itself is not terribly visible and often not directly usable as on its own until we carve it up a little bit. Okay, so what we want to know is the number of lines. So what this creates is a group of rows from the original data frame where actually a bunch of groups where each group has the same episode ID. Okay? So now I've got all these groups of script lines organized by episode ID, and I'd like to find out how many there are in each group. Okay? So there's a couple different ways that we can go about this. One, here, I'm going to create separate cells here. We can go along here so you know. Is we can use the size operator. Okay? And that'll essentially show me for every episode ID the size of the group. Okay? So that's one way of doing it. Does anyone know another way? Okay, if I use count instead of size. Pardon? So count also will give me the same number. So here, let me make this a little simpler by just saying, let's just grab the head. So that it's overwhelming. And then we're going to look at both. So size returns a series of count, essentially, with the number of items in each group. When we call it after group by object. Okay, count essentially will also give me the number when it fits in each of the columns. Yes.
Okay, here, so using size, so you have different lines that you know about, like for whatever reason, they got figured out 40 to 50 lines if you're smaller than like total.
So the observation is that one of the risks we're doing this kind of thing is that we have rows with nothing in them, for example, we could be overcounting. And you're right. In fact, some of the counter lines, we could restrict it to spoken, going to one of the speaking lines, and there's a bunch of things we could do to try to find out. I think that's a really important thing to keep in mind. We're going to continue to go there for now. That's what I mean when I index my number, and I put the map. So I have a map of line number. That's interesting. Okay. So let me first show you how I was thinking about it, and then let me expand it then to the way you did it. I think it's an interesting idea because then you're not dependent on if you got lines missing from the data. Okay, so I would use a similar idea, that is to say, I can take the ID field, so and then take the number of unique values for that, and I'll do head. And then equivalently, and just for the benefit of people who are still kind of learning about using pandas, the exact same thing, using dot notation, I can just say dot ID as well. Those are equivalent static forms of pandas. So you're saying, I'm going to stick with this one for now. because the notebook will highlight the strings that have some up. So you're saying take the max number within that? Okay. Ah. That's interesting. So why?
Oh, there's a zero.
Oh, numbers up to zero? Okay. So the advantage of this one is that if the CSV file itself was missing some rows, right, you have gaps in the numbers, then essentially assuming that the numbers were correctly calculated to begin with, then this might get you a more accurate reading. So, thanks. Other solutions? Yeah. Yes. I'm not good. I'm not trying to keep it simple. So the suggestion is here, we're including non-sticky lines here. Ah, okay. So let me go back to my preferred way. Only because I'm biased. There's no reason why it's better. Okay, so the suggestion here is if we want is restricted to, and I'll put it here so I don't forget, if we want to only sticky lines, we can constrain the rows that we look at. And actually, in this case, we would want to actually count the number of unique IDs rather than the next number because this would not allow us to do that. Okay, so how do you choose to constrain it? Okay. Okay, I'm going to conveniently postpone the aggregate thing for a moment and just say, the other way we can do this is speaking line. Okay, so what this does is inside the brackets, what I've done here is I'm only returning the rows in that data frame for which speaking line is true. Okay, so just one less thing to do this might put. Okay. I'm sorry. Oh, because the normalized text is not null. Okay. Is this a lower number? Okay. Okay. I'm going to keep it like this, but I appreciate that additional way of doing it. Because that's wondering what if the speaking line is no normalized text. I'm wondering if that's, I'm going to say what that now, but thanks for the suggestion. Okay, so now we know a variety of ways of actually figuring out what the number of speaking lines are per episode. So let me go back up and let's just again take my favorite protocol example here. If we take this, and then we want to know what's the minimum number of speaking lines, we can use the min function. Oops. Oh, right. So I can now say take all of those values that are returned, the different number of script lines on a per episode basis, and find me the minimum number there. The end of the max function. And, as you might know, they're mean. Okay. And, as we noted earlier, there's actually ways of computing a bunch of different statistics. There are ways of passing them in pandas and computing them all at once. Okay, there's an add function that you can apply as well. So these are the three functions I care about. And what I can do is call add, and then pass in the names of the functions, strings. I'm going to do min, mean, max, because then I put the mean in the middle. And get all three in a series. After the tutorial, or subsequently, I will update with a new notebook or whatever we create here today, in case you have a hard time following. Okay, well, I think I'll give you a moment here. How many people have used visualization functions within Pandas before? Okay, so essentially many of the capabilities that you have in Matplotlib for visualization are available directly as methods you can apply to a data frame. Okay, and one of those is hits. So exercise A2 here is to plot the distribution of the number of script lines per episode. Now we know what the min, mean, and max are. What does that distribution look like? So I'll give you a minute here.
I have a number of how we're looking at the course. We'll just take an integer number of entries and then try to add the next over that integer. Before that, just take a series and try to add it over that series.
So in this case, so
error that series does not have a capacity tag for a binary error.
Do you have the latest version of conda of Pandas installed? 4.2, I think. So we're doing. If you do conda update Pandas and it says you're all set, then you have the latest, otherwise it might be related. Is there any error there? So it's unique and not unique. Would that be a factor? There's actually a function unique and there's no one unique. Unique actually returns unique values, and unique returns the number of unique values integer. So how does anyone know one that's without error? Okay. Who is one that's got an error and has the latest version of Pandas installed? Okay, Pandas installed. Okay. Okay. Note to self, I should have made my explicit to get the latest version of Pandas installed. Yes, that worked? Okay. That's good enough. So the slide function and older versions of Pandas will give you the same capability there. Yeah, actually, if you do kind of update Pandas, then you have to reload the library into your notebook, right? So you have to, so if that's the case, then we should probably do, if you do kind of, so how many people who have the problem with that calling ag have an older version of Pandas? Okay, so one way around it is you can you can restart your kernel, and then after waiting pausing a minute, you can run all above, and rerun everything up to that point. And that will include reinstalling, so if you're reporting Pandas, know that will look at this version, hopefully that won't be here. Okay. So I will, actually go in here. I'll tell my Bible, I will take that later. Did anyone do those steps? So Conda update Pandas, restart kernel, and rerun all cells, and did not work. Okay, good, thank you. Okay, so we left our heroes when they were going to plot this. I'm hoping you don't need more time for this sort of a straightforward sort of thing. You either just plug it right in or you don't. So I think I'm just going to grab sort of our operating way of finding the number of values and then just say .hist. Any problem with that? The visualization stuff is another area that's been under a lot of development lately. So there's more and more things that are available directly as methods versus doing the plot and then various kinds and so on with Pandas. Okay, so a little bit of a stretch here. Now that you know how to calculate the minimum, maximum, and mean number of lines per season, per episode, how would you go about calculating the minimum, maximum, and mean number of episodes per season? So I'll give you a minute to think about that, and I'll come back up here to where was it? I've got the mean index. There we go. So I'll put this down here. All right, you may find that as a useful guide. I'll give you another minute here. I have not used. I think the question here is how does this SQL methods or function within Data World work compared to I don't know. I use Pandas pretty usefully down here now. How they compare or is it fixed down? Okay, so in this case, we were counting essentially the number of unique IDs associated and for each ID is an identifier for a script line after grouping by episode. We're going to want to group by this time. Okay, we're going to group by season. So we're going to replace episode with season, and then within each season, what is the thing that we want to know number of unique values for? Episode ID. Okay. So the small number of episodes in season was 13, the highest was 25, and the average is close to 22. And then, assuming this point is a fairly straightforward copy and paste operation here to plot the distribution of there. We'll just plug this into that. And we get our plot. All right, one more pair of exercises along this vein. What are the minimum, maximum, mean number of characters appearing per episode? Assuming this one is even more straightforward. Where are we going to group by this time? Group by episode ID, and then what is the thing we care about here? Okay, one, two things, right? There's two different fields that are focused on characters. Character ID. What else we use? One character text, right? Because there's a somewhere in this notebook, I kind of sketched it out a little bit further. There are sometimes several character text values associated with the unique character ID. Okay, it doesn't seem to have much effect on the overall distribution of data, though. And then just to round things out, you can plot that distribution as well to get a sense for the number of characters that appear on average per episode. Question? Okay. What I was finding as I was going along and preparing some exercises for this is some of the more interesting questions that arose were things more about the characters than, say, the script line in the episodes. It was really things about, how often people appear and so on. What I found is I kept on rerunning these Pandas operations to group and select and do all these things, and what I really wanted to do was have a data frame that I could use to manipulate. And so I put together a set of exercises here, and I think I'll run through these a little bit more quickly because they're not really so much to do with analysis as much as constructing a data frame for subsequent analysis. But I found it kind of a useful set of tricks or techniques that you might find generally useful. So we're going to put together a data frame that is going to have the number of lines that's information on a per character basis rather than a per script line or per episode basis. So the idea is each row is going to represent a different character. Okay. And one thing, here we go. So one thing to point out here is the number of raw character text is different from the number of character IDs. Okay. And we can get a sense for what that looks like if we group by the character ID, and then instead of taking n unique, we actually take the unique function, which returns a list of the unique values within a group. Okay, here you can see, for example, that for character ID 1, we have Marge Simpson, but we also have young Marge, Marge Dawson, and so on, just to give you a sense for what the different character text that might be associated with a single ID look like. Okay, so I think it's useful to be able to create a table, to have this grouped by DB03, go for each character text. Now, it can still be grouped by the character ID. We only want to use character ID, but we at least have a full set of information, not to worry about lists of values in certain cells. We can keep things simple in that regard. Okay, so what we're going to do then is we are going to create something where we have a character ID, a raw character text, and then just to get started, a column containing number of script lines associated with each raw character text. Okay, and the way we're going to do that is we're going to group by, in this case, two things. We're going to first group by character ID, and then secondarily by raw character text. So now each group will share a single ID and a single text. We'll have four groups if we didn't group by ID. Okay. And so what you see there is we get the rows that we're looking for, including the null characters, essentially the characters that has, and remember, we can easily ignore the speaking lines and other computations here. Okay. So, and again, so I should create this before I create the other exercise, so I'm going to create myself here. But this is tactically identical. Okay, so what we have here is, or not tactically identical, but it's functionally identical. Right? We have the size of each group, but we also count the number of unique IDs. Essentially, because we know the ID size for each for every script line, we have the same result. And then I'll also note that here I'm installing a reset index, just to pull things down from a multi-index into a single data frame, because I get all balls up my multi-index, like I for that data frame soon again. Okay, so if we do this operation here, I'll see here, I guess I will pull this down so it's all visible. Okay, so now we group by character ID, raw character text, and then count the number of unique IDs, reset the index. Oops, let's see here. We can then rename the columns, because as you can see here, what we end up with is because we're selecting the ID, we're getting a column called ID, which is not very helpful. It's misleading. It's what the value represents. And so what we're going to do is we're going to rename the column called ID to num lines, which is the number, which is actually the thing we're counting. And we're going to assign that value to a new data frame we'll call the characters. Oops. And then let's see what that looks like. Okay, so it's pretty much like the other one, except we now have a column named num lines, and we store the results in the data frame. And if we want to find out who has the most lines, we can use the sort values function on a data frame, pass it in the thing we want to sort on, and then say show it to us in descending order. So surprise, surprise, Homer Simpson has the most lines, the null character has the second most lines. It turns out Homer has twice as many lines as Marge. In fact, if you go file links to the original blog post, one thing they're looking at is gender distribution of different characters have number of lines and so on, but I'll leave that as the next slide beyond what we're going to do here. Okay. If we want to exclude that, let's see here, it goes all at once. Okay. So we can also, using a similar technique we did before, is we constrain the rows that are returned to only those rows where the character ID is greater than 0, or alternatively, equivalently, the raw character text is not empty string. Okay, we find out that Milhouse is the 10th most, I'm going to say, for most, first one of most lines in the season here. Okay, so, trying to decide here, we're on time here. I think just for the moment, we'll try this first exercise and kind of read through the others, and I think once we get the first one, the rest will become clear. But I sometimes get all balls up using merge, effectively, and point things together. So now that we have a data frame with DF characters that shows the number of lines for each character, how do we go about adding a column that counts the number of episodes in which each character appears? Okay, so I'll take 2 minutes to try to work on this, and then we'll go ahead and answer. You might find it useful to break this down into 2 steps. In the first step, you might create a data frame that contains the number of episode ID values associated with each raw character text. You might also use, some techniques used before, and then merge that into DF characters. So now, instead of having a separate data frame where you have, an entry for each raw character text and a number of episodes, you actually have a single data frame DF character which has number of lines and number of episodes. So I'll give you a minute to think about that and work on that a little bit. This is also the answers, and we'll function out, pull this all together if we go through part of this.